you for being here. So excited to have you and to chat with you today.
For
How are
having
you?
me. I'm good. I'm so good. It's been a very busy couple of months, couple of weeks, year. But yeah, happy.
Good, good. Glad to hear it. I guess I just want to start by asking you to introduce yourself in any way that you would like to the viewers.
Okay. I'm Natasha. I'm a musician. I graduated high school last year, and I'm going to Ryerson in the fall for professional music. I'm in a band, and I'm a student at Yellow Dog.
So cool. So you're a musician. What do you play or sing? What are your instruments?
So funnily enough, I started on the drums, and then I learned how to play guitar at camp and just started accompanying myself, and now I'm rhythm guitarist and lead vocals in yeah in my band, and I produce my own music as well.
Okay, that's so cool. Good for you. That is amazing. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. We'll dive into a few of the things you just said. When did you start at Yellow Dog?
Oh boy. I think grade 8. I'm pretty sure it was grade 8 that I was like, okay, this is something that I want to pursue and I want to take lessons. And I actually started at Yellow Dog just on the guitar, and I believe I had a vocals class for a while as well. And then I met Paul, who taught me how to produce, but it's been a while. 6 years.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my god. It's been a
six
really long
years.
it's been a really really long time.
Because you graduated high school last year and you've taken like a gap year kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And it's funny because I went from like lesson to lesson. It wasn't always one thing. I was doing vocals and then guitar and eventually production, but I've learned like a massive handful of things, not just like one specific thing, which has been really interesting.
That's so cool. I love that you did that and that you're inspired to do that. Did you like study with the same teacher? Because I know lots of Yellow Dog teachers teach a lot of things, or did you kind of circle around different teachers trying different stuff out?
I actually think I had like a pretty decent like rotating number of teachers just from year to year. Paul has been the most consistent, I'd say. I've been working with him, I want to say, for maybe like 4 out of the 6 years, 3 or 4 out of the 6 years. And he started off actually as a vocals teacher of
Okay.
mine. And then one day he was like, "You want to make a song?" And I was like, "Okay, cool."
Okay.
Yeah, and I ended up like being like, I want to learn how to do that. Long story short, yes and no. I've had consistent teachers, and I've also had the pleasure of working with a lot of different people, which it's been great to kind of pay attention how everyone teaches slightly differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does not surprise me that you stuck with him because he is like the pro. He can do it all. I've recorded with him.
He could do everything. He could do everything. Yeah.
I know.
He's been so helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
helpful.
Tell me about that.
Okay, wow. Where do I even start? First and foremost, he's always had a very like straightforward approach to like, this is how you do this. This is how you do this. A thing that I would do a lot when I was first learning like the basics of production is I would find a song and I'd say, I really like this one specific sound. How do I make it? And he would just like show me how to do that. He's also been just really great with helping me release my own music, teaching me the ins and outs of getting registered with SOCAN, and also like finding sample packs online, learning how to sample music, like adding extensions onto my laptop so that I was like set up to prepare things properly and make them sound nice. It's great cuz part of it, you're being taught how to do things, but it's kind of like working with a colleague who wants you to succeed and is just kind of like giving you all the tools. And it's been really great because at the end of the day, if I sit down and I'm making something and I'm struggling, I go, okay, I can message Paul, I can send him an email, or I'll see him next week and he can just help me figure it out. And I don't think there's ever been like a problem that he hasn't been able to help me fix. So yeah, great for a lot of reasons.
Wow, all that is amazing. I didn't even know all those specific things.
Right.
'Cause I know that he's just so knowledgeable, but all those things that he's teaching you, like people pay big bucks to learn that in university. You know
Oh,
what I mean? Like to have this person who's just knows it all, and you could go from one week being like, let's just jam a tune this week, and next week it could be like, let's work on how you're going to release this song. Like that is so cool, and I'm so glad you found him and have been able to kind of have him as this mentor, and also that you kind of chose to dive in because that stuff can be kind of scary to approach. And kudos to you for just being like,
thank
I
you.
want to do this, I want to do this, hearing a sound, hey, what's this sound like. That's
Yeah.
so cool. I
There are like,
love that for you.
yeah, there's just very small handful of female producers compared to male producers, and I mean like anywhere, it's a male dominated industry, whatever, but
Yes. Yes.
I like yada yada yada, same things,
Yes.
whatever. Anyways, I was so excited to have an opportunity to dive into something like that because when you have someone on your side, on your team, like showing you all this, it's really not as scary as you think it is. It's just like learning what the buttons do and the key commands and
Right. And I'm so glad that you're saying that because I went to Humber College for vocals for my undergrad. And there's a lot of people that were like into production. And most of the people that I saw, both working for the school and just like my peers that were into it and like really good at it, were all guys. And I just didn't see myself in it. So I just kind of didn't dive in until honestly pretty recently, like quite a few years out of undergrad. I was like, why in the world would I not be able to do all those things? Like,
do anything.
but just like the representation not being there does make you kind of go, oh, so I'm like
Yeah.
grateful and like so stoked that you were like, no, I'm gonna learn all this. Like at your age, you're so young, and like we do need more diversity in the field for sure.
Well, my philosophy is like if I can convince even like one other girl to do it and when they thought that they couldn't, like that's that's all I need, you know? Um,
Yes.
because I mean, I have like Bjork like on my ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
I I'm definitely a major fan of, you know, female producers and their sound. Not even to say that like I don't have a specific taste in music, but there's something really admirable about it, and
Yeah.
it's all about inspiring people, and it's a big part of self-expression. I also think like going back to it being so male dominated, an aspect of production is so gate kept. There's like a very specific language, especially like in tech. That's very, very common that you have to like learn a program and stick with it and understand the ins and outs. But it can make learning for any beginner so intimidating and so difficult. And, you know, I mean, it's not a boys' club. Let everyone in. Let everyone learn. So to have that
Yes.
opportunity has been like just so phenomenal. Um, yeah.
I'm just so excited to hear you say that because I feel similarly about teaching anything, but my kind of specialty is music. And like one of my favorite things is showing someone in the moment, you can do this thing that you basically wrote off for yourself. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I like the song, but like it's way too hard for me. And I'm like, I can teach you that right now. Like all these words, all these things, like they're just words. Like we can learn the meanings, like you said, they're just buttons. Like let's talk about what they do and like demystifying that and like making leveling the playing field and just like making it accessible to anyone who wants to do it because
Exactly.
that's the goal. So I love that you have that as a thing in your mind because we also need more people thinking in that way, like how can I share this thing
Mhm.
that I love
Yeah.
instead of being like, I'm never going to tell anyone how to do this.
Exactly. It's not fair. You gotta, it's such a joy. With any art, it's very therapeutic. You put your self expression, your struggles, you know, maybe your triumphs into it. I think everyone deserves that opportunity. So again, I want to share it with everyone. And
um,
it's been great to be a part of that.
okay, that's so cool. Thank you for doing that because
No,
we need that. I know Kat mentioned something. I was just gonna say you'd be a good teacher because like that's kind of the spirit you have to have, you know?
I did mention that. I would honestly like she said that, and I was like, I can do that.
Yes.
I would love to do that.
You'd be a great teacher just from what you're saying and from what my experience of teaching. Like at the end of the day, just like anything else. The most important thing is just wanting to, yeah, bring like that joyful experience of discovery to people and being like, it's actually not as hard as you think, you know?
It's really not.
It's,
Anyone can do it.
yeah. If I can do it, you can do it. Like, why not me? And like, I've written myself off so many times. I'm like, no, Aiden, you have to stop doing that because there's just not enough time in life to do that.